My inside's not. This is but a game, and they love me this much. When the rebellion comes, these boys and girls will be my enemies, and I will replace them with Reds. How fanatical, then, will those Reds be? And will that fanaticism matter a lick if they have to stand against creatures like Severo, like Tactus, Pax, and Mustang? Hello, Rusters. Hello again. My name is Chuck, and I will be the legate of the day, covering chapters 39, Proctor's Bounty, and 40, Paradigm. A couple things we're going to go through on this episode. We have some words, a recap from Howler 1 himself. I have a howl of appreciation to do. Yeah, just we'll see on that one. I thought I had two, but I'm gonna wait a little bit on one of them. I don't want to screw that one up. And then I have my hood, so don't you worry. When I get to that, I'll be wearing it. Another little section which we building a star shell, or what was something else you thought we should call it?
The
Julian
Dogs of Ganymede, or the Juliide dockyards.
So that's something. There's so many cool content creators out there that they make phenomenal stuff, and I just kind of want to give shout outs here and there and give them their credit and show off the merch if we can, if anyone's watching this on YouTube. So that's into that part. And then, of course, we'll be going through the recap of these two chapters, answering a kind of rogue tight beam, and at the end, if we have time, some off-planet discussions. But again, if we have time, if we're rambling for 3 hours, then we won't get to that. Now, with me is the ever-wise Ruster, Cullen, with his very deep and commanding voice that has the same lulling effects as Zoladone. My Zoladone friend. How are you this fine day?
Right. Well, I am not high on Zoladone, but I am doing well nonetheless. How are you, my good man? Are you prime?
I'm doing much better. Let's say the last week or so, I was getting my ass kicked with the sickness. So, yeah, I'm back at it. But as I'm getting older, I can't bounce back. I'm getting beat up.
You're just a little old man.
Yeah, a little crotchety. All right, there we go. Now, to jump right on to put Cullen on the spot, we're going to call this little quick fire trivia.
Okay.
Now, Cullen, we're going to find out how much you truly do know or think you know on your favorite woman, Mustang.
Oh, shit.
Now, there's a couple of them. So we're going to shoot through them. It's going to start off easy. We'll go easy on you. First question, is Mustang a twin?
Yes.
All right. And her twin brother's name is?
Adrius.
Okay. Now, what specific games would Mustang play with her brother?
Polygon puzzles.
That he created. What is Mustang's older brother's name?
Ooh. Begins with a C or a K.
It does begin with a C.
Cavan?
Oh, cool. CL.
Clevin? I don't know.
Claudius.
Claudius.
Clevin.
Oh, damn, yep.
Slevin?
Yep. I knew kind of.
Yeah.
Do I get partial points?
Sure, I'll give you a partial for that. Claudius. All right, now there's a couple more, but they're going to get... Well, I mean, that one stumped you. I feel good now. All right.
Nah.
Mustang's mother was Nero's first, second, or third wife?
First wife. No, it was the second wife. The first wife he cut off her head.
Yeah.
And then the second wife was the mother of Mustang, and she jumped off a cliff.
Yes, unfortunately,
Or
she
tripped. According to
I think she took her own life, but when we get to those points in the chapter, if nobody's gotten that far and you're hearing this, wow, okay.
Whoops.
So, when Mustang's father, Nero, shipped her off for her safety, who did he send her to?
The Telemanuses.
Which one specifically?
Cavex.
Yes.
In Nairobi.
And you have to say Telemanus correctly. You can't just say it so, lamely. You got to yell it.
I said
That's an extra point.
Okay.
So the last two questions: who killed Mustang's brother Claudius?
The Bologna. Oh shit! His name begins with a K.
Yes, it does.
Kevin.
Kevin.
Clevin.
We're back on the Vens. Clevin, Slevin.
What is it?
Carnus.
Carnus.
Yes. So I'm going to count that as
points. I
get
points.
Yeah. All right. And then the last question's the hardest. When Mustang's mother killed herself, how did Nero act whenever he saw his daughter Mustang? There's something he specifically did or didn't do whenever he saw her. I wouldn't have remembered this at all.
He never mentioned her.
He couldn't look her.
Or couldn't look her in the eye
for 3 years.
Yeah. I think that was 50-50. I got 50%.
I'll give you that. That was pretty good. I didn't realize Klaus or Kevin.
Klaus and
Klaus.
Carnus are tough names. Tough names. They're not in the common,
Cavex, Carnus,
common usage.
Claudius. All right. So we got through that. I have to give you props for that. That was pretty good. That was some random. I figured we'd bring up Mustang because you do love Mustang. So we got to at least get those questions out of the way. Yeah.
What's not to love?
That's a good point. Good point. So the end of Hazard Bedlam has happened. The way we're shooting and recording at the moment, I think next book we're going to be a little bit different. We're going to be more week to week. But Hazard Bedlam is over. Howler 1 himself, Pierce, had a live stream, and what I thought was awesome was calling out to people that for recognition, cool things they've done, and giving them specific Howler names. And I have determined,
find a way to get it.
Yes, I've determined that now I will forever be Chuck until I am bestowed the honor of some sort of name or call sign from him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a must-have. And because we want it so bad, it's like seeing a UFO or a ghost.
Yeah,
we probably won't get it, but but definitely getting to watch everybody get bestowed their Howler call sign was it was great. It was also deeply
depressing.
Depressing, yeah. A real mean streak of jealousy. I texted you and was like, "What the fuck?
Yeah,
we don't get one."
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree 100%. That is the only goal of this podcast is to now all we are trying to do is get Howler names.
Yes, and I hope they're gonna be fucked up names too. They're gonna be something. We're gonna make one little screw up, or maybe mine's like everyone has their own taint. I'm just gonna be like
taint one.
Taint one. Yes, that's me.
I think that's what I'm going to refer to you as.
Oh, nice. All right, see, it already started. Nope, but you're not Howler 1.
Official acknowledgement. You're taint 1.
Fair enough. All right, so then moving on to the next spot, I have to wear. I said
don the appropriate attire.
Yes, we have a howl of appreciation. I'm only going to do one because again, I don't want to. The other one's too early. So I sincerely, me, Chuck, have to honestly take a moment and send 2 howl of appreciations to my own 2 beautiful girls. I said 2 like 500 times for some reason. Now, although they are youngins, they don't listen to this podcast yet, but maybe one day they will. We have created a lot of content together for our Instagram, for Hazard Bedlam, Lit Escalates, all of that. And there's no way in hell I wouldn't be able to do all of it or most of it without their help. And like, we're just laughing at each other. They're holding the cameras and trying to fight to see who can hold it next and be in the next videos. And so they've made this process so much more enjoyable. I thank you both for that. I love you both. and you both should be in bed right now asleep. So this,
They are the heart and soul of the
yes.
podcast.
Oh, yes. Yes, they are. And that's why I had to figure before anyone else, I have to give them a shout out, or before they Severo stab me in my sleep. So, yeah, I had to do
Which,
that.
I don't know, the little one, it could be coming at any time.
Yeah, anytime. I don't get much sleep because I don't trust her. But I love you.
Eyes in the back of your head. Eyes in the back of your head.
Yeah, yeah. She's my little firecracker. So, on top of that, there's only one other thing. Lit Escalates did drop their own Pegasus Legion hat, which I wanted to show.
It's very sick.
And
I am only not buying one because I have spent so much money on stuff, but I am deeply considering it.
yes,
Meaning,
it feels nice.
Delaying the inevitable.
Yes, 100%. It's a very, very nice hat, very well made, and I'm glad I purchased it so I can rub it in your face.
Question
Yes.
for those out there. Is that available on the regular Shit Escalates or Lit Escalates store, or is that a patron only?
To be fair, I looked it up and purchased it under the Shit Escalates, but I will look that up and find out.
No, I only asked because I was wondering if I didn't know if you knew, but it is a patron only.
Ah, that's even better.
If you're a Patreon patron, they have an exclusive merch shop, and that is one of the items in there.
Hell yes. You got to be a part of Legion 7. Now.
And honestly, it's worth the investment. The Book of Lorne so far. I'm not
that's a good point. Yeah.
sold on the comic book part just because, I mean, I'm not a huge comic book guy. I was for a little period, but I'm not, not massive. But it's cool. It's beautiful. It's well done. I mean, as far as comic books go, it seems really great. But I'm not that's not why I'm there. I'm there for the prose. From Darrow's
deep dive
view, prose chapters of his training with Lorne, and the first go was really good. I thought it was great. It was very much like getting to read portions of Golden Sun or Morning Star for the first time, because that's what it was.
Yeah. Yep. And it's to your point, as far as the comics go, again, it's been years, but I like having something in my hands. You're looking at a comic, it's like reading an old magazine. You got to have it. And if there's eventually a form where it's printed in 3 years when it's done or whenever it is, I'm probably going to purchase it and then really deep dive into the comics. But the reading, I have it up. I haven't even started it yet, but it's good to know that you've enjoyed it. So
I dug it.
Yeah.
I thought it was really fun. It was a fun, there's a lot of stuff at play. It's kind of cool or interesting how easily you can tell that this world is still very alive in his mind.
Yeah.
Because he you're dropped right back into Golden Sun era Red Rising, and it has some of the darkness of later books in that, you have the nuance and the context of where this is all going, and so you're shading some of it, but there's a lot of kind of just raw Darrow and really interesting new Lorne. So definitely worth it, in my opinion. Obviously, I understand it. $5 to me is nothing because I don't drink coffee. So it's like, how they say, oh, it's a cup of coffee. Well, I don't drink coffee. So
wasn't coffee now like $9? Everything's going up.
I don't fucking know. I'm a chocolate milk guy.
Oh, that's milk. Cute. More Ovaltine, please.
Exactly. All right. I'm sorry for sidetracking you.
How dare you?
Here.
All right. So, chapter 39, Proctor's Bounty. A little bit on the shorter side, but there's a couple topics from this, which is a grav boot visitor. We learned some true motives. And again, the cool word, shifting paradigms. And another moment I did not see coming. These next 2 chapters I'm covering, sometimes I was like completely just dumbfounded in the dark. So I was like, what the hell are you doing? But we'll go through it a little bit. So House Apollo is taken through strategy, cunning, or sheer force. Oh, and the fact that Severo and Tactus crawled through a mile of shit. Darrow, Mustang, and his faithful dagger shadow, Severo, are on the ramparts looking towards the sunrise and their future victories. All of a sudden, there's a visitor, and the prodigal parent returneth. Fitchner arrives with grim news that Darrow has already predicted. Apollo has not left Olympus. Everything has been slagged. Apollo, you see, or Jupiter, was looking for a new appointment, possibly a Praetor Knight position on Luna. It all hangs on the Jackal winning. And Darrow is making that very difficult. So hence, Fitchner's life up on Olympus has been pretty difficult. Fitchner has to ask Darrow yet again, you want to win, right? Like, what are you doing this for? You want to win? You already have an appointment no matter what after this. People love watching you, whatever you're doing, conquering, destroying, taking slaves to a point and then releasing them. Like, he's already set pretty much for his career. There's already people that have technically tried to lay claim to him, which we find out in later books. Could be Cullen's favorite guy in the series. But strangely, Fitchner seems off during the conversation, and it all comes down to Mustang's presence within the room. And at first, I kind of read this as Fitchner is the head of basically Mars, and of course Mustang's from Minerva, and it's just like, well, why is she in the same room? I don't know if you kind of figured it out at that point, or you thought you read it a little bit different. Like, yeah, I just thought it's like, well, he's in charge of House Mars. There's nobody else that should be in here. I'm trying to have a one-on-one with Darrow.
Yeah. And I think there's multiple layers there. So like,
Yep.
not only is he trying to talk to him as a pupil of Mars, he's also trying to talk to him as a Red of Lycos and of the Rising, and he's trying to like
hint
because this, from Fitchner's point of view, like this could be the end of the Rising. Like the highest, like their most heavily invested operative is, because they haven't given him any information to work with, is
just like hanging himself.
The entire operation.
Yeah. And that has to be completely frustrating. You make something, you build it, you basically birth it and like create this monster, and then shit, it's kind of running rampage and it's destroying half the city. Like, I'm going to lose everything. So on top of the other proctors that just won't leave. So Fitchner's, he's getting some gray hairs, that's for sure.
And there's the potential here where he puts a big enough target on his back that Nero or the Board of Quality Control or somebody gets Darrow in a basement room and beats the hell out of him and tortures him and gets information about, maybe they go in just asking, like, just to get retribution for beating the Jackal or whatever. And in the process, it comes out that, oh no, I'm actually a Red. Like, they don't. That's the problem. Fitchner doesn't know where this is going. He doesn't know because Darrow hasn't told him, and he's in that position because he hasn't told Darrow what the plan is. So like, neither
it's his
one
own
of them
fault.
is sharing enough information.
Nice. Yep. True. Of course, the ever-wise Cullen. So then the interesting point where Fitchner asked Mustang directly, and I didn't pick it up at first, but he asked, so Mustang, what do you think about the Archgovernor cheating for his son? And of course, I don't know if there's somebody who's that smart way back when, first read, picked that up. But her response gave me pause. It's a response that kind of was like, okay, that doesn't sound like a Mustang thing to say. She responded, kill or be killed, cheat or be cheated. Those are the rules I've seen Aureates follow, especially Peerless Scarred. So, I don't
think she's saying that as though she believes that.
And that's what I was going to ask you. So it was like her just playing around, like, I'm dealing with a proctor right now, I'll just give these fluff words. Or for a second in the back of my mind, I was like, ooh, cheater be cheated.
No, she's saying that those are the rules that you guys have made, particularly not just the Aureates, but particularly the Peerless Scarred. And so she's basically saying we're just playing the game that you've put in front of us.
Yep.
And it's cheat or be cheated, kill or be killed. That's the guideline that you guys gave us at the jump start of the game.
Yep.
And she's also, I think, intimating that that's how the world works according to the society. Which you're right. On the first read through, I was just kind of like, she's really bought into this Darrow thing. I did not catch the familial ties that she has to all this.
Yeah.
I was kind of in the realm of like, oh, she is a high up gold. She must be like, a loon or something. I didn't really know the connection would be what it is, but I knew there was some kind of really high family connection going on. But
Yeah. No,
we'll
yeah.
see.
She was a somebody. So eventually she relents and leaves the room for them to discuss. Fitcher produces a gift for Darrow, Dancer's knife ring. And what I thought was weird, he gives Darrow this knife ring. Here's a little box. And it's like, oh, I heard this came from your father. I don't really care about that whole part of the discussion. But Darrow instinctively puts the ring on his finger, flicks his wrist to unsheath the blade, and then flicks it back to like sheath it again. And then my point is, if somebody's given me this, I know it's a knife blade. Did they know it's a knife blade? And if they don't, why would I show you it? Like, why would I kind of show my cards and be like, oh, I'm just going to flick this in front of you and ratchet it back in? It just seemed like a weird thing I wouldn't have done.
You're probably right, but we have to assume that the only reason that Fitchner's giving it to him is because he knows what it is.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there's that option, but as we find out later that it's actually Lorne who is the one who is pushing, which I asked this a couple chapters ago, and it's like, was Fitchner the one pushing this, trying to calm Darrow down and be like, hey, you already got your appointments. Like, hey, remember this from your childhood? Stop doing stupid shit. People are watching you. But it was actually Lorne who was, hey, give this to Darrow. But
Yeah.
I see your point. Like, maybe he already knows what it is, and it's like, hey, this is an advantage in the game. I want you to have it, but I still wouldn't have flung it out in front of him.
And you know what? I don't remember, but in the text, I feel like Fitchner responds to it like he's surprised by it.
Oh, I'll have to go back and read that. I don't remember that.
Anyhow,
how dare you?
Continue. Maybe I'm making shit up now.
Yeah. So, Fitchner and Darrow argue, trying to determine Darrow's true motives. And I love this quote when Fitchner was getting a little frustrated with Darrow. Look at me. Look at me, you condescending little twit. Darrow, everything I have, everything I had to fight for. I was not born to an archgovernor's household. This is as far as I could ever go. Yet, I should go much further. My son should go further, but he can't, and he won't. Hell, he'll die if he tries. Everyone has a limit, Darrow, a limit they can't skip past. Yours is higher than mine, but it's not as high as you Gordwell like. If you go past it, they'll knock you down. So even within this perfect society, there's some of those that are already kind of enslaved or on their perch, and they must know their place and shut up.
And Fitchner, there's I don't know, you're going to get to it, right? I'm assuming about the relationship there.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So yeah, and that's in the point where you realize, and Darrow figures it out, and that Fitchner is none other than Severo's father. He kind of pieced that together from him having this little outburst. Their mannerisms, their coloring, he said, they're very much the same. Their vulgar language. So yeah. Is that what you're going to touch on?
Well, it just shades that speech.
Yeah.
Because now not only is Fitchner afraid for himself and for Darrow, but he's also terrified for Severo. Because it's, if you go too high in this society, you will get clipped.
Yep.
And Severo is maybe thinking that he can go higher than he's supposed to go.
Yeah, and he
So
knew.
Fitchner's
Yeah, he knew early on that as soon as he walked out of the. Oh, now I can't even think of the name of it. As soon as he came out alive and he killed the big dude, he was basically screwed. His whole career was fucked. He was always going to be shunned and why can't it Priam?
Primus,
Priam.
Priam,
Priam, yeah. As soon as they took out the golden child Priam, he's basically he probably got knocked down a couple pegs, and then Darrow's more likely trying to rise him back up. And again, it's going to put more eyes on Severo and any father's worries about their son. Although their relationship is quite unique, Severo and his
different,
pops. Yeah.
different.
So at this point, oh no, I got that part. They are related. No, hold that thought. Darrow attempts to show a sign of respect towards the end of the chapter, saying, despite everything, thank you. And they clasp hands and shake for good luck. But once again, those helldiver hands get a hold of you, you're fucked. Quote from it, for a moment, if only a moment, we are friends. Then he winces as the pressure my hand is putting on his. He laughs at first, then he understands, and his eyes widen. Sorry, I say. That's when I break his nose and slam my elbow into his temple till he no longer moves. When you first read that, were you like, why? What are you doing? Well, I don't get it.
Totally.
Yeah. Like, what could you possibly gain? Especially, you like Severo. You just found out that's his pops. And it's like kind of having this moment like, Fitchner, you never helped me. But whatever. Thanks for I don't know. I guess that one time he gave him medicine that saved Mustang. It's like, oh, thanks for that. And then you just decide to try to break his face in. I was really confused.
I thought he was going to try and ransom him.
Oh, really?
I thought there was going to be like take him captive and then like hold him as a captive to then try and work out a deal with the proctors or with the drafters, or somehow he was going to leverage that into weapons or something.
Yeah. The only thing I could possibly think of is that he wanted to take his literal suit, like because he has that pulse armor, pulse fists, and it's that's the only thing I could possibly think of, and he does to a point, but yeah, and for a while I was like, I don't get it. So, and then as a little note, I didn't quite understand why he did that, but again, my mind only thinks within the bounds of the Institute. I guess I need to work on my paradigm shifts. That's how I wanted to write that in. Now, there's a couple key terms and factoids.
Oh, here we go.
Which there are no key terms and factoids because they're on the next chapter. So slag that. Couple quotes that I wanted to touch on, which Mustang says to Darrow, page 330. It's how he is feared or revered. Like you're one of the old conquerors, the ancient Golds who usurped Earth, destroyed her fleets and all that. They use it as an excuse not to compete with you, because how could Hephaestus compete with Alexander, or Antonius with Caesar? So it kind of brings back to the quote at the very beginning, where he's so revered and feared by his equals. And
I'm happy you included that because that was my favorite from that chapter.
Yeah.
It very much, I don't know if he has or hasn't, but it reminds me greatly of the Colleen McCullough series, The First Man in Rome. It's a great historical fiction series, but it basically is about the fall of the Republic and the rise of Caesar. But over the series of books, you find out, or you learn about how Rome was on this very tentative ground where you had a great man rise to the top.
Yeah.
And he had to kind of keep himself equal to everybody. The society was based around this idea that we're all equals, but you can be a first among equals, and that gives enough of a truth to the lie so that everybody can walk away with pride and convince themselves, well, we're equals technically.
Yeah.
So I don't have to go to war with this guy or try and break him economically or do anything to destroy him because, well, we're actually equals. And it's this really delicate balancing act that they do, and you can it's alive within the society. And as the books go on, it's clearer and clearer that that was at play for a very long time. The other thing in there, that do you know who Hephaestus and Alexander, who they're talking about?
Well, I did find in my terms, I have
Oh, there we go.
Hephaestus in here, and I will have to say I took time trying to figure out how to say Hephaestus correctly. I actually had it wrote out Hephaestus. Anyways, so from what I have in the
However you have to
definition,
do it.
yeah, I have that he is a Greek god of blacksmithing, fire, and metalworking, known for his exceptional craftsmanship and the divine artifacts he created. This is just something about which I thought interesting points. Hera, his mother, was ashamed of his appearance and cast him from Mount Olympus. Hephaestus returned to Olympus and presented Hera with a golden throne that magically bound her. And he used this situation to demand his return to the Olympian court and recognize him for his skills. And I kind of pieced that Mustang's calling him by this old Greek god, that it's almost like Reds were, they were ashamed and cast below, or yeah.
I'm gonna save you the pretzel that you're putting your brain in there.
Yeah, do it.
She's referring to Alexander the Great and his second in command, a general named Hephaestus, who was his like boyhood friend. They grew up together.
Yeah.
They were maybe, I'm pretty sure they were lovers. And he was an excellent general. By all accounts, he was a phenomenal field commander, but he was not Alexander's level. So she's saying, like, you're who remembers the Hephaestus to Alexander? When she's saying, is it, what's the other one? It's Caesar and Marcus, or
Antonius with Caesar.
Yeah, so that she's talking about Marcus Antony.
Okay.
Mark Antony. So like the second, the co-star, the person that is their right-hand man, kind of gets forgotten.
Their VP.
Exactly. And so like the thing she's saying there is everybody wants to be his second in command, even though history's not really going to remember them.
Yeah.
But it's such a big,
but they're pivotal
that he puts on them. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That aura that he casts on them and brings with him is so big and so embracing that they'll still feel like they're a pivotal part of the play unfolding. But I love that whole quote is great.
Yeah.
It really highlights where Darrow is in this journey of becoming a leader.
And I think that's the only term or quote I had from chapter 39. Because I think in the next chapters, well, there was some houses that are mentioned. That's actually in the next chapter, which like Bacchus, and then a name that I wanted to go over. So that's pretty much it for quotes on that chapter or terms. I don't know if you wanted to add something to that.
No, I think it's a filler chapter.
Yeah.
It's basically getting Darrow a few things that he needs to complete this journey, getting us from point A to point B, or getting us on that journey to point B. Yeah, I think it's a good chapter, but it's short for a reason.
I looked up the term on the Greek god side of Hephaestus. I totally blew past the whole point of what Mustang was making.
But that makes sense, because if you don't know that connection,
yeah,
why would you?
Well, that's why we have the ever-wise Cullen with the voice of Zolodon.
Would you cut it out with that bullshit? I got 50% on my on the trivia for my favorite character, so I clearly am not Everwise.
No, Everwise. So,
fuck off.
So the next chapter, Paradigm. I should have had a quote here. Where did my quote go? Yes, Paradigm. Opening quote from Mustang herself. You have my trust because when you saw me hiding in the mud after taking my castle, you let me escape. And I have your trust because I pulled you from the mud when Cassius left you for dead. So there is the answer. You're going to do great things, Darrow. Maybe you don't have to do it alone. I
So,
love this quote.
question for you. I love the
Yeah.
quote. I've got a question for you. That's why she trusts him for sure.
Yeah.
But is that why he trusts her?
Well, just
My
because
read is that he trusts her because she sang EO's song or
I
hummed it.
that was a good chapter because we went over that, and I think that
Yep.
was a pivotal moment for them, their relationship. I think that's what solidified the connection. Yes, I agree with you. I don't think it's so much where she saved him, which obviously that's important because otherwise he'd be dead. But when hearing her sing it or hum it and then talking about it in such a beautiful way,
Yeah.
not judging it or anything else like a typical Goldwood, that's what's made their relationship better. But
Because if it were Quinn, and Quinn by all accounts is a great person, and he loves likes her and grows to love her, whatever. But like if it were her, and there is no humming of EO's song, and there is no conversation about the problem with the societal structure, does he trust Quinn? Maybe, but not implicitly. Not like
yeah,
he does with her, where it's like there's no question. He seemingly does not question her loyalty at all,
yeah.
really. So I don't know. I didn't know if that was your read on that or not.
No, I'm glad you brought back that chapter because that chapter's huge, and I've said it then too, and I still believe it. That's when not just like a love was formed, but like a closeness, and he could
Mm,
almost like relieve a little bit, like he let his guard down a smidge because he's at high alert at all times. He's like a double agent. He's in enemy waters everywhere, and he can't
for
speak to
sure.
anyone. So it
It
had to make
also
it.
is. I don't know if you got this, but I also think it's the first time that he realizes that the rising is going to, by its nature, have to include gold.
Yes, yeah. I don't
Like
think then.
before,
Oh no, I see your argument. I think yeah, you have to
because
at some point. Yeah,
her her point is that all the
understanding.
colors are going to have to work together,
Yeah, that's a good
and
point.
that by its nature means golds too. But before that, his whole kind of mentality was everybody here is going to be my enemy at some point in the future.
Yeah,
Even these people that I make my friends, even this girl that I'm starting to fall in love with or whatever, they will all be my enemy at some point, so I can't get close to them.
which still frustrates me because he's like, these people they need to die. They all will pay, but I don't want to hurt them. I don't want to kill
I know.
them, but they need to die. I'm yeah. It's a little
You're
confusing.
still mad about Pollux getting, or who was the guy that he killed, ran away? I killed him. I killed him.
Vixus. Yeah, I
Yeah,
did
yeah.
not kill him. I did. Yeah. Well, make up your mind, man. Snap his neck or don't. So, what do I have here? 100% love the quote. Yeah, we went through it. And then what makes it personal on top, and more specifically, like she brings up the point, you saved me, I saved you, but she says, like, I know you're going somewhere. Like, and you don't have to do it alone. She adds that other little personal touch, like, I want to go where you go. And interestingly, she uses his name Darrow, doesn't say Reaper. Um,
Mm.
and that'll come up later in the recap as well. So this is a little bit longer chapter. Things start to heat up towards the end, and then Cullen's next two chapters get really spicy. So, uh,
I don't think that's a term we want to use anymore. Now that's been co-opted.
all right, fine.
The
Yeah.
romantasy world, or Bookstagram has termed it so that spicy means there's like sex scenes.
Oh, okay. So your two
Yeah.
chapters get bludgeony.
Bludgeoning. Okay.
I don't know.
I'm not sure whether that's a word, but it is now.
It is
That should be
now.
on a T-shirt.
Yep.
Things get bludgeoning.
All right, we need to reach out to, what is it, Books and Co. or something. And yeah, these are my quotes. So within this topic, there's the first lie Darrow ever did to Mustang, overt lie, not like withholding information, but and specifically Fitchner left. Topic 2 is trying to give me a heart attack. This entire chapter.
Good catch. Yeah, I didn't pick up on that.
Yeah. Topic 2, I think, is Pierce Brown trying to just literally tick off boxes of like, what dumb thing can I do over and over and over again to make the reader crap themselves. Topic 3, overconfidence.
What did he do?
We'll get to it.
Gonna get to it. Never
Yeah.
mind. Okay.
I got Cullen hooked, people. All right.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
Topic 3, overconfidence, and topic 4 would be consequences. So, recap. Darrow lies to Mustang for the first time, saying Fitchner just jumped out the window. He left. And I'm pretty sure Mustang didn't buy that story. I don't think she knows that he's currently locked up in a room with like food and water, like a dog, gagged. But Darrow overtly lies to her and just says that he left. In order to stay ahead of the game and prepared for any tricks or traps the Proctors might scheme up, Darrow jumps right into action. No moment for respite. Rally the troops, he tells Mustang, and they march. Oddly, after they captured House Apollo, there was a massive, severe blizzard that just kind of grew and started hammering the entire Institute. But after a day's marching, it seems the weather rapidly changes and spring fast approaches, confirming Darrow's suspicion that the Proctors have the ability to alter weather patterns within the Institute. But this presents a golden opportunity later on. The push is towards House Jupiter, and according to Darrow, he requires more allies before he takes on the Jackal. It does surprise Darrow along the way that they are not spotted, not attacked. They don't notice anyone on the horizon. They just seem to have an open doorway all the way to House Jupiter. They pass down burnt castles along the way, raiding their stores for anything consumable, finding barrels of grape juice instead of wine, and my boy Severo was very unhappy about that. And they come upon House Jupiter and immediately besiege the castle. It's a small triple-walled castle in the low mountain passes. And this is where I begin to worry. My heart rate starts to rise up. To me, it seems like every damn decision was a poor one. We'll start off with number 1. Darrow immediately instructs his lieutenants to devise their own plans to take the castle. No strategy, no tactics. Whoever wins the house gets a prize. And immediately I was like, well, is this just like Pierce taking a step back and being like, I don't feel like writing in some cool strategy attack here, or it's just Darrow's getting too overconfident and he's just sending his lieutenants out and he doesn't want to be like dealing with it. I just didn't like it at all. I don't know if that peaked as an issue for you as like somebody looking over a battlefield, or as a commander just being like, nah, you figure it out.
Yeah, it felt very much for the first time like, oh, what's the play here?
Yeah.
For somebody who's so meticulous with like every detail figured out, worked out, now all of a sudden we're doing this by like group, by committee.
Yeah. Yep.
And it doesn't work. I can't think of a single historic example, or there are very few where you had a number of generals on the same side on one battlefield. Like, World War II, obviously you have a bunch of commanders in the field, but they're all working towards one goal. But very rarely were there like 5 kings on one side against 5 kings on the other side, and they all fought in the same battlefield and have it work. Usually that's why it seems
not
very
successful.
Yeah.
So it surprisingly, whether it's the writing or his lieutenants are that great, it only takes a day or so for his army to seize the outer walls, and they start working their way inward to the castle. At least
I think it's the opposite. I
But
think that's a trap.
oh, well, yeah. So as things start peaking up and that's something I would actually do too. If I was defending a fort and I saw it this way as well, reading through it, and it's like, well, all right, let's give them a false sense of security. Let's draw them in, and then I would have them in a controlled, confined space and try to light them all on fire or something if I had that within my means. So again, this is just where my boiling point, my blood just kept rising throughout this chapter. But the little comfort I had so far was Darrow was wise enough to send 3 of his divisions to scout outward to protect his flank. And I thought, okay, well, that's smart enough. Don't bring all your forces in the keep. But it appears that the Proctor's meddling has actually kind of helped them. It backfired on the rest of the school. By controlling the weather and rapidly bringing on spring, they have unknowingly thawed out the river Argos, which in turn trapped House Jupiter's army on the wrong side of the river. Because if you remember at this point, Mars and Jupiter are kind of battling it out up towards Mars. So the only ones left to defend the castle supposedly was 7 mangy, starving students. And it only takes a few days before a white flag is flown. Another reason where I was like, this is a school where you don't want to get captured and you're flying a flag of supposed surrender. A ragged, emaciated, sad excuse of a boy comes out with terms of surrender. Darrow notices this boy named Lucien, who is so sickly that his house ring barely clings to his finger anymore. Now, this boy, Lucien, requests that if they surrender the castle, they just don't want to be turned into slaves. Immediately, why? Why take the risk? What everyone else has to prove themselves. You enslave them, they win you a castle, it's working. Why does he agree to this and be like, yeah, all right, yeah, open the doors. Yeah, you don't have to be slaves. I immediately was like, all right, this is another example. You want me to have a heart attack.
I thought the same thing. I also was like, you run the risk of your army being pissed.
Yes. Yeah, exactly. That was the other point.
A guy like Tactus is not going to take that well.
Yes, from his whippings and slavery to crawling through shit to gain a castle to, they just open a door and they're not enslaved. The only small saving grace again I got was that Darrow ordered Milia to watch them, and if they move a muscle, she would scalp them because I know she's a badass. So for every 7 things I thought were wrong, at least there was like one saving moment.
Yeah.
So as if on cue, once again, Darrow proceeds into the inner walls. The skies cover in darkness, and it starts to just downpour heavily. So then, Darrow orders his entire army to seek shelter inside the main keep. Another point where I said, what are you doing? No posts on the walls, no lookouts, just everyone get inside. It's just dumb. So Mustang, Tactus, and their divisions are still out beyond the wall, but that doesn't 100% alleviate any of my fears. Another part that made me question things, there's a moment when Darrow's mind starts to drift to Mustang. Because at this point, they're inside the keep, they're eating, drinking, having a good old time, and big old boy Pax Telemanus is over there talking about Helga, and Darrow's thinking of Mustang. He says, I look for Mustang so we can laugh about it, but she'll be away for hours more. I miss her even then, and I smell a little inside my chest. I swell a little inside my chest because I know she will curl into my bed this night, and together we'll snore like Uncle Nero after Yuletide. Yeah, you ever smell into your chest? I mean, that's the epitome of romance.
All the time.
That's when it gets smutty.
It gets spicy.
Yeah, spicy. So as much as I'm happy Darrow's having this thought, and it's like, all right, I'm starting to get feelings for this girl, I think it's actually less about like a sexual attraction. He's more, they're talking about that night, they're going to snore like Uncle Nero at Yuletide. In what form, what better example of having ultimate trust in somebody than being able to completely let your guard down and go into like a deep sleep, close your eyes. And that's what I felt from that quote was more important than like, oh, we're going to share a bed tonight. It's like we trust each other enough that we're both going to zonk out.
For sure. For sure. I think he's telling the audience or the reader that, like, this is beyond a physical attraction.
Yeah.
Because I feel like we don't really need to know. I mean, we just assume they're all gold. So they're all beautiful, like apex peak versions of whatever beauty it is. So you don't need or we don't need to be told that she's, a stunning, like Grace Kelly lookalike. It's just assumed.
Yep.
Or, whatever version you have in your head of her, that's what she is. It's all the more subtle aspects of attraction that really have to be kind of drawn out from Darrow.
Yeah. And those are the ones I feel have more impact, or at least while I'm reading these stories and he says these lines to her, and I'm like, oh shit, 100%. That hits so much more. But to the point of why I am going nuts reading this, it's get your head in the game. Like, I love you're having this moment, but stop thinking about Mustang for a minute. You're making all these bad decisions. Stop being stupid. Which brings us to my next peak moment.
He's a young man in love. Like,
I know.
Telling them not to be stupid is a very pointless waste of air.
That is true for like an 18-year-old boy,
or for
essentially.
An 88-year-old, If you're in love, you're in love. You do dumb shit.
You're at that retirement home looking for your next wife. All right. Anyways.
Your next case of herpes.
Yeah. I was going to say, didn't that go around somewhere in the Florida houses? They had like
I mean, the highest cases of
that's what it is.
STDs is amongst like
retirement homes,
67-year-olds and higher or something. It's crazy.
How dare you judge them?
I know. I mean, good for them if you can still do it. Get to it.
Go at it. So you had to break a leg. All right.
Or a hip.
Oh, so the next part, which piqued my interest, Darrow notices the Jupiter's war room. Because I believe they're chilling in there, eating and drinking and whatever. Their wall map is destroyed. And from what I always understood, the wall map is ever changing. It's like a digital layout of the current events of the Institute. Yeah. And if their army is to the north laying siege to Mars, why in the world before they left would they destroy their own map? I would understand if they didn't want their map movements to be seen by others, but that would imply that their house was compromised. So I was like, why is that map destroyed? That peaked. And I said, all right, I'm starting to get a really bad feeling. These aren't just bad decisions. Things are starting to get.
I'm going to be honest. I didn't even pick up on that.
Well, then.
I just went right by it. You eagle-eyed that because I didn't even clock it.
Very well.
You're 100% right. It either means they were trying to get out of there quickly and destroyed it themselves, or an enemy destroyed it, or
because if somebody else takes
and then destroyed it so that nobody could see what was going on,
because it would show the house of whoever's currently in the castle. So the next thing that piqued my scariness, Darrow then orders his army to open the wine barrels and get drunk. Act like fools for once, he bellows. Why? I literally remember asking myself, when did you find booze? I remember the grape juice from House Baca, which I have in my term section. But I was debating, I'm just going to go back and reread the whole chapter because I was like, when I don't remember finding booze anywhere, but I was already too much into this chapter, like something bad's going to happen. I need to keep reading. So I don't know if you noticed that. Yeah. Hold me.
I did, but I was kind of worried like you in that, whenever troops after any amount of anything get anywhere near alcohol, it's rarely a good thing. There's a positive thing.
There's a point while I was overseas, they I don't know how they got like a shipping container of beer, and there was a controlled point where they're like, okay, you get two. Everyone,
Yeah.
the entire company, you go and you got two because they knew anything more than that. And it's been so many months, to almost a year at one point, where it's like one of them already kind of would mess us up. But
You're all dehydrated. You're
yeah,
on God knows what.
140-degree temperature, and then we're on like Milwaukee's best or
one Nick Lachey will
yeah,
put you in the bag.
yep. And then that's when the brawls come out. It's a one time you get back to a fob, and we race back just to have these two beers, and then I don't remember. I think it was like the Super Bowl was going on or something. Anyways, yeah, moving on. So, and at one point, what sold this completely was like, when did they find booze? No, it's just grape juice. Darrow mentions how his army, some of them were already passed out and snoring like Uncle Nero on Yuletide. And I was like, well, it has to be booze because Uncle Nero was a drunk, and that clicked it for me. So then we got Darrow and Pax have an argument about sharing the wine with the Jupiterians, which results in Darrow ordering Pax and his division to head out and do patrols. More soldiers leaving the vicinity, making my blood boil.
And his best guy.
Yes. Yeah. At this point, Mustang's out, Tactus is out. Well, Severo's still there, but as we know,
but if you're in a confined like room,
yeah,
if you're in a meat straw or a close quarter combat situation, sure, Severo might be helpful or might be up there. But the guy you want in there is the guy who takes up half the room.
Yes.
Just by being there, he is an obstacle and confines your opponent and limits their ability to maneuver within that space. So like
he could just yell and people would be shit themselves, probably, if you're going against that.
The last person that you want to send away if you think you might have to fight another person in a tunnel.
Yes. And all right, so I'm glad you picked up on that too, because I was like, wow, more soldiers and packs.
Like, oh, at this point, I was waiting for Darrow to like by himself at night walk into a forest following someone
and listening to Mustang's voice.
Thing again, where he's like making all these dumb choices.
And somebody made a post on that just recently on Instagram, and it was hilarious. Which
that was me.
That was you. No, you didn't.
Yeah, I did.
I saw it as a response. Oh, I didn't realize that was you. I just read that like at work. That's even better.
Yeah, the meme?
Yes.
Yeah.
Very well done.
Put it on our stories.
Well, that's why it came up. Weird.
Oh, man, that's so funny.
That's my Severo moment. So,
yeah.
Darrow and this Lucian boy have been getting pretty chummy, talking to each other during all this while everyone's getting drunk and happy and passing out. We learned a couple a couple interesting things, that the War to the North, it appears, is almost over. I guess Jupiter, according to this Lucian, is about to conquer Mars. But we learned that there was a girl who betrayed Mars, which we assume is Antonia. And much like Darrow's army around him, they're all falling deeper and deeper into a drunken mass of idiots or just passing out. Mustang returns. I'm hopeful that this situation will stop being stupid. And then Darrow basically tries his best to kind of shoo her back out of the room. And this is the other point where Mustang specifically calls Darrow by his name. In the beginning of the chapter, I had that quote. And then, if you're going places, Darrow, you don't have to do it alone. And she does it here, asking him immediately, Darrow, why did you not turn him into a slave? And all I can hear is my wife using my name, Charles, and I'm thinking, I'm fucked. What did I do?
Yeah.
So it's a few times where she actually calls him by his name. And even then, I'm like, oh, this isn't good. She doesn't trust this. What are we doing? But did you pick up on that?
I did, and I thought the same. Not about the wife thing, but since you brought that up, it clocks.
Yeah.
But no, I was also very much like, what the fuck is he doing? Like, if there's a play happening, she should be in on it.
Yes.
Unless he doesn't trust her, in which case they have told us the opposite story for the last 300 pages.
Yeah.
That he does trust her, and now all of a sudden he doesn't. So I was confused. I was totally, Pierce Brown was running circles around me on this because I was very much like, where the fuck is this going? How is this going to work out? And I don't know if you feel this way. Maybe at the end we can talk about it, but I still am like, I don't really know how he knew what he knew.
That's at my end of my recap was,
okay.
I deleted it actually, but I was like, because it's more on your chapter when the revelation or when we learn of it, but it was like, how, like, and he brings up a couple small points, like you fidget with your hands or something or whatever. I'm like, that doesn't make sense, but we'll get to that then.
The whole play is as if he knew what was coming.
All the way back to Fitchner.
So like
because knocking Fitchner out because he takes his equipment is all pivotal to this and meeting the Proctors after meeting the Jackal. So it's like, how did you think 40 paces ahead?
And I don't know if it's just he's being smart and is ready to take advantage of the circumstances that are appearing, but it feels like there's a plan that is in place because he knows what's happening.
Yeah.
But
it's like premonition or something.
Something.
Yeah. So he eventually convinces her to leave. You can tell that she really doesn't want to. There's a tension in the room, and she trusts him, or at least she trusts him, and she finally says, all right, fine, I'll leave. Now we get to the end of the chapter, which kind of ends on a cliffhanger, but it's just Darrow and Lucien speaking on what drives them both. They've been getting chummy for like another hour or so, and Darrow eventually asks Lucien, is it Lucien or Lucien?
You can go either way.
All right. Darrow asks for Lucien's hands. When finally he lays them down on the table, Darrow upends a bag full of golden sigil rings all over the place, just dumps it on the table. He says, these all come from the dead kids. The kids the medbots couldn't save. Let's see. We have Jupiter, Venus, Neptune, Bacchus, Juno, Mercury, Diana, Ceres. And we have a Minerva right here. Odd. I can't find a Pluto. I look up at him. His eyes are different. Dead. Quiet. Oh, there's one. Now, that was my favorite quote, actually, of the chapter, because just when I heard on the audiobook and then they're mentioning, like, I don't know what's going on. I don't know what he's trying to play at. He's dumping all these rings on the table, and then he just looks up at this guy who is supposed to be like this meek, dumb idiot, and his eyes are just mentioning being dead. And when you've seen certain people that like get lost in this like haze or in a mindset, all they see is red or what it's memorable. Like you see it in their eyes and like this shit's not going to be good. And it's only a few words here, but it hit me that same way. His eyes are different, dead, quiet. Did my camera just shut off? Oh, because I feel like
I got you.
All right. I feel like my thing just disappeared. If you can see me, then all right, good.
I can see you just fine.
All right. Because usually I got the little thing so I could see myself. But, oh, there it is. All right. Never mind yet. My producer is a jackwagon, so we'll just carry on with that.
Wow. That's not very nice.
Yeah. In case you didn't know, Cullen is the producer. So, yes.
Fuck that. Don't blame me for the shitty audio and the shitty video.
Yeah.
I mean, it is my fault, but don't blame me for it.
Yeah. As long as you have 5 stars, right?
That's all we care about. But yeah, I agree. That is the best part of that chapter.
So
that was also very much like, oh, the penny dropped.
Yes. And then it's like, all right, what the hell's going to happen? And then that's, of course, how my chapter ends. You get all the fun reveals and tragedies. But within this chapter, we learn about Bacchus, which was House Bacchus. They're going through there. Bacchus is a Roman name for Dionysus, the Greek god of wine. Jesus. Fertility and theater. He is a deity associated with wild, revelous celebrations, divine madness, and transformative powers of wine. His worship, known as the Bacchanalania, sure,
Bacchanalia.
Yeah, that's what I said, was
If you have a
characterized.
crazy party, it's a bacchanal.
Ah, all right. So, well, that makes sense. Yeah, all right. But that's what I'm trying to imagine. If you're a proctor or a drafter and you're trying to pick, you have your whole litter of golds you want to go through. Everyone kind of fits within their house. What kind of a joke is this where you're like, I want the loudmouth drunks. I just want the party goers, the nudists, the ones that just want to have a grand old time and then think you're going to win the institute.
I mean, some people can have
If you're
fun,
into that, yeah. But how are you supposed to win the institute? If you love doing that, that's awesome. But within this environment, how do you not just get?
I mean, I don't know. Churchill was a drunk, and he won.
Well,
so, I don't know.
You think he was constantly shit-faced?
I mean, pretty fucking close.
Oh, all right. You would know more on that.
I mean, the man woke up and had a glass of cognac. He had like a bottle of wine with lunch.
Well, that's how you brush your teeth, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
It's the alcohol
I
in it.
agree with you. I did also, when I saw that Bacchus was one of them, I was like, what the fuck? Like literally every other god, you can find a way that you can make it work.
And you have Mars, which is known for their like brute savagery. Minerva, who are brainiacs who are going to figure out supposedly any situation. And
they're both gods of war.
Yeah.
Mars and Minerva are gods of war. So I don't, but Bacchus is a god of madness too.
Oh, all right. So, I liked learning that. I didn't know that.
Maybe you get a cult of insane wine drinking partiers that follow you to the ends of the earth. You don't have to win the institute by war. I mean, it's set up to do that, but
do you think it's ever been won not by conflict? Do you think once?
I don't know.
Huh.
I don't know. I mean, say it's been around for 500 years. 1 year, maybe there was somebody like a Charles Manson who just got enough of them to agree to be on his side that he convinced them with wine and good times to
grape juice,
to then go and kill everybody else.
That's the other part. Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't think of that. Maybe they all sang Kumbaya and then they just chose a victor and said that was it.
Some drunks are angry drunks, so
yeah. Well, especially if you give them fake wine. So what's worse is you get all these party goers in a castle, and then you're like, "Here's your grape juice." So that has to been like what?
There's nothing more embarrassing too than like being 17-year-old and drinking something you think is going to get you shit-faced, and you start acting shit-faced, and then somebody's like, dude, that's grape juice.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, I knew that the whole time.
Yeah, I'm just playing for the last 4 hours.
You're an idiot if you thought I was drunk.
That happened to you, didn't it? I don't remember that, but it probably did.
Never.
Okay.
Never.
And then we have Lucian, which there's a few little tidbits that I stole that I thought was interesting to me. Is the name is often connected to knowledge and individuals who are intellectually inclined, and also guidance. It is sometimes seen as a symbolic name for following the light and believing in oneself. And I see, as we learn, the jackal is who Lucian is. He is a very intellectually inclined individual, and I see he believes in himself. He's a narcissistic prick. So I think that fits him.
Very fair.
Is that how you read it?
There's an interesting thread there of a guiding light.
Yep.
Which is also called a morning star.
Oh, I see what you're doing.
Also a light bringer.
Well, look, Okay.
You
How did
could
you
bring
piece that?
all
You
you
brought
could
that all
connect all
together?
three of those. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, I don't know if that's a thing, but it's a damning coincidence if that's the case. But you could definitely make there's connective tissue between um, Lightbringer or between Morning Star and Guiding Light. I don't know.
Yeah.
Lightbringer is maybe a little less, but you can
I
make
see it.
there's
Yeah.
something there. There's something there.
I like that twist. All right, cool. Um, Now we should go on to it. There's only a few quotes. Darrow about Severo and Fitchner, page 338. Oh, this one bummed me out. I see his father in him every time I look at him now. He
Oh
seems
yeah, this is crazy.
he seems weaker now that I know his family. There's no reason that should be the case. I guess I just supposed he really did spring from the loins of a she-wolf. Did that bum you out? Because it's like
It did kind of.
the magic was faded, and you see Severo as like a normie now. Like I felt
It's
bad
also
for Darrow to feel
it's
that
also
way.
I see. I felt bad for Darrow because it's him thinking like a gold.
Oh, good
Like
point.
not even knowing it, but he's like judging Severo now for, it's not that there's a little
Hey,
bit
he
of the
is. Yeah.
mythology, the mystique of Severo not being born from a she wolf, but also it's probably him thinking, wow, he comes from lesser stuff than even I thought.
Yeah.
Or it's sad that he comes from such a weak man like Fitchner.
And that's you're
Um,
judging a man because of his father essentially, and
his
that's
lineage, yeah.
yeah, that bummed me out. And then also it's like Severo, imagine you do nothing wrong. You're still the same person, but then all of a sudden somebody thinks they gleaned some insight to you and then they're automatically like judging you for it. And you're like, What? I didn't fucking do anything. Like I can't change that. That's who brought me into this world."
That's that's the whole problem with the society.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that people are being judged for something that they had no control over. That's the
Yep.
whole problem with racism, brother.
Yeah. It fits all over the place. Um, so yeah, that quote bummed me out. It's like Darrow takes a while to forget that too, and it's not until later on in the series where Fitchner, you realize how pivotal and an important person he is, which then I think changes Darrow's perspective. But
Mhm.
it changed how he looks at his friend, at least in this first book. Darrow about his army and his wife, page 340. My army may be disciplined, but they'll shiv their own mothers for a warm bed. It's the one thing most of them never got used to, sleeping on the ground. They miss their mattresses and silk sheets. I miss the small cot I used to share with Io. She's been dead now, longer than we were married. I'm surprised how much it hurts to realize that. I hurt just realizing that. She's
Yeah,
been
that's
dead
rough.
now longer than we've been married. That that one, I don't even, the whole rest of the quote doesn't matter. That's just filler to me. But that part
Yep.
was like, shit. And then you remember how young he really is, how short their life truly was together. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a stark reminder that like some of us hopefully will be older than you live longer than your parents.
Yeah.
And at some point you'll be older than your parent.
Yeah.
And that's a weird idea of like I lived longer than they were on the planet, or unfortunately sometimes you live longer than the amount of time you knew somebody. That's just a bizarre. And you're right, with Io it's particularly sad because not only were they married for such a short period of time, but they were expected to be alive for such a short period of time.
Yeah. True.
Even if they both lived the full extent of their life, they die at 32 or
Yeah.
31
Pretty
or
much.
whatever.
Yeah. 30s was like old to them. So the next quote I have Darrow, not really confirmation at all of what happens if Mars falls, but I'm glad it's brought up. Page 342. I
Mhm.
must move quickly. I don't know what'll happen if my house standard and castle are taken. Even though I have my own independent army, I could technically lose. So I'm glad they brought it up. We've mentioned it,
Yeah.
how, and you said there's something on Reddit that it's been discussed before, but I see it as they never really set up strict rules in this game or institute. And it's you're thrown into a room, you have to kill somebody, then you're in a house, and then it's just kind of figure it out. And who's to say in this faux war that you're doing at the institute that a new independent nation can't form, right? So I feel like even if Mars did fall or the standard was taken, I still see it as like, well, I don't think the overall conflict can be resolved and finished and have a victor if there's still a raging army, ravaging all over the place. I don't know how you feel on it.
I kind of agree. I agree in principle, but then I'm also thinking about like the whole point of this is so that they put themselves into set strata and
Yeah.
reimagine the colors. And if you think of each house as a different color, then the society definitely doesn't want them to fuck around with that. The whole point is to generate that sense of, you know, Ceres is the browns and that they're
Yep.
on the bottom. And
Bacas are the
I don't
purples,
think
violets.
they would absolutely not want there to be a random new color that just pops out of nowhere, because that would undermine the entire idea of the set strata, the social structure of the society.
But then
That
if
would be
this
like,
is the set social structure, why not just state that? Like one house has to win, one complete household. It's just you're just thrown to the wolves, so
yeah,
to say.
yeah, you're
So,
right. I don't know. I don't know. That's why this is such a hotly debated topic on Reddit.
oh, yep.
But you're right. I don't know. Because I would assume that once your house is gone, you either just become a slave of the victorious house, or yeah, that's got to be what it is. You just
Hmm.
become a slave of whatever house won the battle against your house.
Yeah, but if you're not captured, like Mustang, her house lost. She was conquered.
But
It's
she
all about the
wasn't.
standard.
It's all about the standard.
Okay. All right. So you're
So
basically is the standard is what matters. You control the standard, you're still in the game.
it's got to be that.
Okay.
There's
But
a
so
little
then at
flying in
this
this room
point,
that's driving me nuts.
yeah. So at this point though, Mustang has the standard, and yeah, every now and then I see you swatting, I'm like, are you queuing to me? But Mustang has the standard, so she has an army, but I don't know, it gets confusing. I still think it's
Well,
open game.
maybe. I
Hmm.
mean, we don't luckily get there. So
Yeah, fair enough. So on that point, I will move on. That basically rounds out my 2 chapters. Is there anything you wanted to add?
yeah, you just mentioned it, but at one point, Lucian says, "I told you everything." Lucian protests, "Don't be a vague purple on me." I thought there were violets. I don't remember there being any purples.
I don't think mine says. What page is that on?
344, about halfway down.
Right, just put it out, please. Oh, that's when he's taking his hand. He's putting his hand on the table. 344?
Yeah, look at the camera.
Oh, don't be a
I have
vague
it
purple on
highlighted.
me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Huh. Yeah, I've only ever heard it as violet. Maybe that's why I said
yeah.
purple randomly. Huh.
I don't know. I mean, it's so early on that maybe it was going to be purple, but then it was like violet's a better
It sounds
word. I don't
better.
know.
I only think,
Violet
yeah,
definitely
violet.
makes more sense.
Yeah. Don't be a
Purple
purple.
just makes me think of the purple Teletubby. I don't know why. That's a
Oh,
childhood
God.
memory coming back.
Yeah. Awful memory.
But yeah, that was the only thing I had.
Hmm.
You covered everything else.
All right. Then there's a random little discussion point of a rogue tight beam we can kind of play around with. So there was a coworker who I got into reading Red Rising, and I got to give him a shout out too at some point. Hell of appreciation if he finishes the book and loves it. If not, fuck
You're
him.
withholding your howl.
Yes. Yes. Howls must be earned, damn it. You can't just. All right. So he started reading the book, but he's very big into movies, and he's always talking about if he was reading stories, he has to link an actor to a character in the book. And it's something that we've talked about a little bit here, but we're not going down the full road of actors and who would play who, but he was like, this is how I see it, and this is who I think is as Darrow. And I was like, well, who do you think is playing as Darrow in your mind in this book? And he told me John Krasinski in his mind is who he sees as Darrow. And I, don't get me wrong, he's a good actor. He's a great producer, director now. I don't know what the hell he was talking about. I don't see that.
I'm officially banning you from ever giving this.
Yeah, how? All right, see, now you see why I at least have to let him finish it. All right. So then I was giving him shit. You know how I am. And then he's like, all right, well then who do you pick? And so then this is in the moment he was asking, and I said, all right, well, I got to get my thoughts out here. Now I said, I'm going to pick characters from different years. This is just how I see them. Darrow is broken up into 3 different characters, right? This is going to be bad. So age is not a factor here. Young Darrow, I pictured him the beginning of the story, pre-carving, as a 1990s version of Christian Slater, right? You remember Christian? Yeah. I thought you're going to hate this. All right. Yeah. Post-carving, I was like, Henry Cavill. And then fast forward 10 years, a couple books later, we get a little 10-year time jump. I love Tom Hardy. I said Tom Hardy. I said those are like the 3 names I just threw out in the book. All of them I thought were 10 million times better than John Krasinski.
Yeah, I mean, literally anybody's better than Jim from The Office.
Yeah. Yeah. I imagine he was pitching the serious roles.
Public bathroom, let alone in battle.
Well, have you seen the Jack Ryan stuff? Or I haven't, but I've heard good things.
He's okay, but I'm still. It's Jim from the fucking Office.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for him to look at the camera and go.
Yeah, I liked A Quiet Place though. That was an interesting little.
He's great. Again, he's great. I think he's great. Is he Darrow? No.
No.
Is he the fucking Reaper of Mars?
No.
No. Is he calling for an Iron Rain? No.
So instead of a howl of appreciation, we should drop an Iron Rain on him.
We're gonna send him to the dark ink and banish him like Atlas O'Ra.
Yes. Hell yes.
He's off with the Azkamani until further notice.
Perfect. Well, then he might return and cause havoc. Who was the one that got thrown in the tube and just shot out into space? That was Quicksilver's.
Yeah.
I
forget the name, but yes.
Whoever screwed him over.
Yeah. He's off with the tabula rasa.
Yes.
Out in no man's land.
So that was a tight beam that kind of bounced all over the place. I thought you would get a kick out of that and in the absurdity of it. Yes. And I also have to point out, just recently, another listener randomly mentioned that he was watching something and he saw Hugo Weaving as Fitcher or Augustus.
Yeah, I thought that was a good one.
I thought that was awesome. I've never, for some reason, I totally forgot that guy, Hugo Weaving, was in anything except Lord of the Rings or Matrix. I don't think I've seen him in anything else. But his current picture that he posted with that comment, I was like, dude, that is Fitchner. I'm torn. I see.
Totally, I can see Fitchner. His voice, though, I think of the V for Vendetta, and I think.
Oh, that was him.
Nero Augustus. That would be pretty fucking badass.
That is. Oh, all right. Oh, so we're gonna have to flip a coin then. All right, he could do either or.
Definitely.
Because I still like Jeremy Irons originally, but
I do too. But he's so old now.
Yeah. No.
I mean, he looks
most of the good ones are
ill.
Not
ill, just weak old man.
Yeah, he's always been like a skinny, tall dude, but yeah, he looks weathered.
Still a great actor.
100%.
But yeah, I thought that was a good one. Hugo Weaving was definitely a good spot.
Yeah, I want to give that guy a shout out. I put his name in, but I think his name is his name, so I don't want to throw that in here. Yeah. So
why don't you dox him for his
really good
idea?
You had a great idea, so-and-so.
Now your name's on the internet forever.
Yes, you're welcome, Sons of Ares.
Of course, it's about 12 people watching this, so,
Well, those 12, please be nice to them. Several tickler. All right. Do we have time maybe to go off an off-planet discussion, or I don't know?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. I still haven't finished Mind Over Murder. That's on me.
I didn't think you had.
During my sickness, I just laid in bed and I watched random crap. And then I did watch one interesting show.
Shut up for a second. What a weird move. You're sick in bed watching nothing. Why not finish the documentary that you could finish?
And what's worse is I watched something that was like just as intense. Yeah, I have no argument. It makes no sense. But
what did you watch?
That show miniseries Adolescence on Netflix. Have you seen it?
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I don't know. I felt like hating myself.
Yeah, I saw it. It was great. It was phenomenal.
Yeah, it was phenomenal.
Incredibly well done.
And
the actor is amazing in it.
That kid?
Well, the kid, but the dad.
I the dad
him for a long time.
Yeah, he co-wrote it actually.
Yeah.
So yeah, if anyone hasn't seen it, it's on Netflix. It is a wild ride of a mini series, 4 episodes, but it's not the perspective of a kid who may or may not have who may killed another kid, but it's like all those around him, the family and friends in the town, and it's like their perspective on what the fuck just happened. And that one-on-one episode where it's that shrink lady with him,
crazy.
I at that point was like about to fall asleep, and then that one kind of started off, and then I was hooked, and just I couldn't take my eyes off the TV. It was an awesome episode. They both won Emmys. I think they won like 8 Emmys. So and her name was Erin Doherty.
And I think it's the kid's first acting gig.
Yes, that's why I looked that up to see what else he was in.
Honestly, it's very annoying because when you watch that and you've been doing it for almost 20 years, you're like, oh, fuck this kid.
Yeah.
No, it's great. It's great. It's really great. Oh, yeah. The kid's doing great. But fuck that kid.
Yeah. It's like those who got names from Howler 1. You're like, oh, great.
Oh, great. Fuck you.
No, we love you. But no, he did good. He plays a very good psychopath. I hope he's normal in the head.
You just ruined it for anybody that hasn't seen it. So
alleged psychopath. We never know.
But your point is true. It's more about like the people around the situation. Like, how do they deal with it?
Yes.
It's really great.
Because instead of giving us the direct facts.
One shot.
That was the other thing I wanted to bring up. Yeah, I don't know. I thought you would know what it's called, but it's literally was like all one camera roll from room to room. Yeah, it's called One Shot. Okay, because the way it was done was so beautiful. I thought it captured the intensity of it every second. It was cool. I don't think I've ever seen many movies like that.
No, it's really, really hard to do. It's like it's like filming a play.
Yeah, because you have to be on and
everybody
ready.
Has to do it exactly right.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they got to stop no matter where you are and start over. And so it's like the preparation that goes into it. Like just the cameraman has to walk the exact right path every time. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to cut things together properly. It's very impressive. How
long, it's side question, the cameras themselves, how long can they record before it's like maxed out? Or is it like the cameras have come a long way where it's like phones where you can record? Okay, all right. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like, and most, they're using digital. So it's however long your battery power works. So like.
Fair enough.
I'm sure some of them have extra juiced up batteries that can go 12 hours or whatever.
Yeah. But
probably more.
Very cool show. If anyone wants to watch something high drama or really you want to be miserable for a couple hours and get depressed, it's an intense show. But I had to mention that.
No, I totally agree. I second that recommendation. It was pretty fantastic.
And I shall swear now I will not watch anything else until I finish Mind Over Murder. You hear it first. Before Colin says anything.
I don't want to finish it. I want it to be a mystery for you for the rest of your life.
I have to see the play. So that's what I'm about to start is the play episode.
Oh, you're about to watch the most interesting part of the whole documentary, and you've just waited for 4 fucking weeks.
Yeah. Time flies. It's the kids. They're
sick in bed and have nothing else to do.
I've said too much. Reel it all back. Edit. Producer, edit. So the next 2 chapters for Cullen is going to be 41, The Jackal, and 42, War on Heaven. And as we've said, these are not spicy chapters. They are bludgeony. Yeah.
Bludgeony.
What's the other word? Not spicy. Was it spicy?
Well, no, spicy means it's like sexy.
Yeah, that was what I originally said, but bludgeony. Okay, yeah.
Violent.
Yes. So they're going to be very bludgeony. And on that note, those are my recaps. If you want to take us out.
Yeah, if you have anything that you make that has anything to do with the world of Red Rising, please share it with us, and we will pump it out on our social medias. We are at Sons of Aries Pod on Instagram, Twitter, and on YouTube, where maybe you're watching this. If you have something you want to share with us, an idea, a thought, a question, a type beam, send it to the Sons of Aries podcast at gmail.com. Yes, I did have 2 different names for that. And yeah, we're up for anything. So if you have an idea for an episode, if you want to join us to talk about a particular chapter, we are planning Golden Sun. It's right around the corner.
Yeah.
I know we have 4 chapters left. We have 2 episodes left of Red Rising, which is kind of crazy, to be honest, now that I'm thinking about it. We started talking about this, I think, in May.
Yep.
And now it's almost October, and we are wrapping up the book. Originally, we were going to do 1 chapter a week, and we were like, this is going to take us 5 fucking years. And now we're like 4 months later. Technically, we're only 2 months into the show being active.
Yep.
And we're almost done with Red Rising, which is crazy. So yeah, if you have any ideas for a particular chapter that you want to do, let us know. We also have some ideas for social media skit kind of based things that,
hell yeah.
If you're interested in participating, please reach out to us and we'll let you know what those are.
Yes.
And other than that, I don't have anything else. Do you?
No. We're going to be putting, like you said, mentioning those skit ideas that, so if people really kind of want to, I think that is going to be really cool. And I'm excited for the next book as well. What?
Yeah, man.
It's not going to be cool?
No. I mean, it's pretty nerd. I was running around the mid coast of Maine for one of our videos, like a lunatic down the middle of a road.
Well, I know Fade. They said they loved it over there in the Howler's Den. They said it was awesome, and I thought it was hilarious how much you must have been breathing through some of it, just dying.
You should have heard my wife laughing while she was videotaping.
Oh, that's awesome.
Like 120 feet, and she was like, "You sound like you're dying."
They mean the best.
On that note, I will catch you on the flip side. Thank you for listening, and we'll get you with chapters 41 and 42.
Have a good one.
Alrighty. Bye now.